All right, good morning, everybody. What's going on? Well, I saw a video from Bob Arum this morning, and I have to be honest, it kind of inspired me to make me want to do this video and talk about what he said, because what he said, and just as the title says, as you all can read it, what he said in this interview, I agree with 110%. And I'm going to play it for you right now. And let you hear it, and then I'm going to comment on it and explain why I agree with him 110%.
It's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive.
Oh, that's the wrong one, actually. Give me 1 second here. I will pull this one up for you. Give me 1 second here. All right. Bear with me here. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. Okay. So I'm going to pull up what Bob Arum said here. I found this quite interesting.
That he's just a businessman. He's not in there to entertain the public. He just takes the big check. But again, if Canelo really fights, because I think safe to say Terrence always fights. He doesn't know anything else. So then it could be a very good, interesting fight.
You've always praised Terrence as a special fighter. Do you think he can beat Canelo?
Who is Canelo? What Canelo is going to show up? The Canelo who's looking to cash a big check, or the Canelo that really wants to fight like a fighter? Now, the Canelo we've seen the last 2 years is not only boring, but doesn't really have an incentive to mix it up and to entertain people with a good fight.
So you heard what he said, and it's pretty hard to argue against what he said. When you look at the last 2 years of opponents, and you look at just the way Canelo has approached those fights. Hey, what's up, you funky? Good morning, my friend. Nice to see you on here with me. Yeah, just how he's approached the fights. Hasn't had a knockout in a while. Um, the desire to go out there and put on a show and look good for the fans is no longer there. And it happens to a lot of fighters. It happened to Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao when they ended up fighting. They knew they've already made multi-millions of dollars, right? And they were making like 100, over 100 million each for the fight when they met in the ring. So what else is there? I mean, both guys knew they were going to the Hall of Fame. Both guys won divisions in multiple weight classes. They won titles, excuse me, in multiple weight classes, right? So what else was there for Pacquiao and Mayweather? And as a result of them really not having that fire, that desire, like as they once did earlier in their career when they had something to prove, the fight ended up turning out to be not the greatest, right? It was underwhelming. And even when you go back and you look at Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler, there was something missing from Marvin Hagler. And you can say he was past his prime, he was old. But think about this: during the negotiations, Sugar Ray Leonard wanted certain things. He wanted a bigger ring. He wanted the type of gloves that he wanted. He wanted the fight to be 12 rounds instead of 15. And Hagler gave in to all of those requests. Why? Because he was paid extra to do so. So right then and there, Hagler was obviously, all the fighters care about the money, but it seemed like Hagler was more concerned with the money at that point in time, at that period in his career, whereas Leonard, this was more of a legacy fight for Leonard. So he was willing to just get the things he wanted to ensure that he had the best possible chance of victory. What did Leonard do? He gave the money to get what he wanted, and Hagler took the money. So in my opinion, and this is my opinion, even though the fight was close and competitive, I thought Ray Leonard wanted it more than Hagler did. Right? So I think we're in a situation, again, where I made a video earlier and I've talked about this, and other people have talked about this, not just me, where they've compared this fight to a modern day Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. So mentally, is Canelo Alvarez in the same space as Hagler was? Because if you notice, Hagler didn't even ask for the rematch. He could have got a rematch, but at that point in time, even in the interview, he says, I don't know about, I don't want this anymore. I don't care about this. So when you got one foot out the door, when the sole purpose is just to fight for money, and there's no incentive to look good, please the fans, because early in your career you want to look good and please the fans because you want to establish yourself. You want people to follow you and get behind you and buy your fights and pay to go see you fight. But once you already have that status and you've done it all, you've won the titles, you already know you're going in the Hall of Fame, right? What else is there left? And I find myself asking that question right now about Canelo Alvarez. I watched that last fight against William Skull, right? And I look at people on Twitter, I'm seeing people on YouTube, and we're getting in these debates on who's more to blame. Is it 100% Skull? Is it 100% Canelo? Is it 50-50? And I'm seeing a lot of people running interference for Canelo Alvarez. I mean, are you not able to see what's been going on the last couple of years? You're not seeing the approach change. You're not listening to the things he's saying. You're not watching these fights play out. You're not seeing how choice of opponents has become more strategic. Like are you just oblivious to what's been going on around you these last couple of years when it comes to Canelo Alvarez? And let me pull up this clip with Canelo Alvarez, right? And he tells you, right? He tells you what, exactly what I'm telling you right now. Basically explaining to you what else is left. Here it is. Hold on.
When they say, hey, this is your mandatory.
Yeah.
I never hear about him.
Right.
I'm gonna do whatever they want.
Right. Because you worked hard enough to do what you want. Yes.
In this position, I can do whatever I want.
Because you put the time, you put the work.
Because I deserve it.
Absolutely.
Because all I did.
Absolutely.
Like they say, hey, you don't want to fight Golovkin, I fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lara,
Mm-hmm.
fight Lara.
Mm-hmm.
Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, Trout, Mayweather, Coro,
Bivville,
everything. I did
and
everything.
now Berlanga.
And now him, but like I say, I did everything, and now I can ask whatever I want.
Absolutely.
And I can do whatever I want. When they say, hey.
So he told you, I've already fought the big fights. I've had the tough fights already. Now I'm at a point where I could just do whatever I want. It's all, there's nothing left to prove. There's no more incentive anymore other than the money. Because I've already established myself. I know I'm going in the Hall of Fame. So again, you got to keep that in mind when you're in that position, when you're in that stage of your career, right? It's going to reflect in your performances. And it has reflected in his performances. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I've watched William Skull fight before. I seen him in his last fight against Shishkin. He threw like 350 punches against Shishkin. Shishkin had to chase him all around the ring. Shishkin threw about almost 800 punches in that fight. And I thought Shishkin actually won the fight, but he didn't get the decision. Shishkin's team even protested the decision. So again, when you fight Skull, or if you're someone who's going to be fighting Skull, you know what you're getting. And you're not going to, you can't throw 152 punches in a fight and expect to be impressive against William Skull. Canelo said to himself, "Why? I'm getting 80 million for this fight, or so it's been reported. I just signed a 400 million contract, right, with Riyadh season from Turkey Al Sheikh. Why the fuck am I going to chase this guy around the ring? I can't be bothered to chase this guy around the ring." Right? 12-round fight, threw 152 punches. And that was Skull's fault that he threw 152 punches? Shishkin didn't throw 152 punches. You know why? Because Shishkin wasn't making 80 million. And he wants to be able to make 7 figures one day. So what does Shishkin do? He goes out there and puts forth his best effort, puts it all on the line, and says, fuck it, if this guy's going to run from me, I am going to chase him down. Canelo said, I'm not chasing this guy down. What the fuck for? I'm getting 80 million. I'm going to get the decision anyways. All I got to do is plod forward. Who cares? I don't care if you buy the pay-per-view or not. You know why? I'm gaining $80 million. That's what he said. That's what he said. And that's fine. Make your 80 million. Great. Put the business first. Make it all about the business. But you guys have to be honest with yourself. What's good business for Canelo right now is not good value for your dollar, right? So if you thought that pay-per-view was worth $80 and you were happy with it, hey, all the power to you. But just let it be known that Canelo Alvarez does not care about entertaining you anymore. He doesn't. Because he's done enough of that already. He's told you. He just told you that. Right? So you're caping for somebody. A lot of people. And again, do what you want. Do what you want. You love Canelo, you can continue to love Canelo. I don't have anything against Canelo. I think he's a cool dude. Right? I respect him. But if someone tells you, right, that I could do whatever I want, right? When you can go to work tomorrow with the ability to be able to do whatever you want, you're not going to show up on time, right? You're not going to go that extra mile. You're not going to work at the highest level possible. Why? I could do whatever I want. No one's going to say anything to me. No one's going to do anything to me. So you're not going to get the best version of Canelo. And again, maybe obviously there is going to be some slippage, right? He had a long career. It's been 20 years, almost 21 years, right? He is going to slow down. But when you take that, you add another layer onto that where I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't have to impress you. So if he doesn't have to impress you, if he doesn't have any incentive to go out there and put on a show for you, because he's already getting 80 million, he's already walking in the Hall of Fame, he's already got a promotional company, he's already got multi-businesses outside the ring. This guy his legacy is set, his financial future is set, his life is set. He can die and come back 10 times, and he has enough money to live 10 lifetimes. So the incentive is gone. Right? And this is a fight with Crawford, and I said this before, and I'm going to play another video for you where he says it himself. Again, when people tell you something and tell you what they're about, you believe them. Believe them. Right? Here it is again. I'm going to show you. You be the judge. Look what he tells you right here. And this is something you got to keep in mind. Anyone who's betting this fight, you got to keep this in mind. Right?
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at one.
So he is telling you, just like I said, this fight means nothing to him. How is he going? Like, he has nothing to gain from this fight other than money. That's it. And whenever you fight exclusively 100% for the money, right? In anything in life, when it's all just for money, I think the desire is not there. He is not mentally up for this fight, in my opinion, because he's saying to himself, what do I get out of beating this guy? He just told you. He just told you. He just told you. Making excuses for Canelo before the fight is a way to take the glory from Bud. Very interesting. Mexicans are coming out against Canelo. Shows their fear of losing to the American. Hey, listen, man. I just played it for you. He's telling you himself he's got nothing to gain. I am not saying that. I am not saying that. And you know what? Terence Crawford will get full credit for beating Canelo, because Terence Crawford is going to be 38 himself. He's going up 2 weight classes. That's not on him. Just like it wasn't on Ray Leonard when Haggler had 1 foot out the door. Right? It's the same thing. The same thing. People tell you what they're about. Believe them. Believe them. He told you, I have nothing to gain. He told you, if the money is right. Well, guess what? I guess $100 million is right. The money's right. Don't listen to me. This is not me. It's him saying it. Right? Believe him. Because you know why? You know why I believe him? Because his performances are showing me that there's no more incentive, that I've done all I can do. He told you, I've done all I can do. I don't need to do any more. He's going in the Hall of Fame. He's in the record books already. He's the only undisputed champion at super middleweight ever. No one's ever become undisputed at super middleweight. He's done that. He's done that. Twice. Right? He's been a champion at 154, 160, 168, 175. Right? Four weight divisions. Right? He's among a handful of Mexican fighters, I think. I have to research that, because I'm not sure if Marquez did that. I'm going to ask that. I want to verify that, because he may be the only one. Who are the only Mexican fighters to have won titles in 4 weight classes? I have to brush up on my history here. Okay, Eric Morales did it. Super bantamweight, featherweight, and super featherweight and lightweight. Manuel Marquez did it. Featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, and light welterweight. So he's among 3 fighters to have done that. He's among 3 fighters. So I kind of thought Marquez did it, but I wasn't sure if Morales did it. Morales did it, Marquez did it, and Canelo Alvarez did it. So he's among less than a handful of Mexican fighters to have won titles in 4 weight classes. Andrew Castellano says, what about Bud? He's collecting a check too after this fight. Is he fighting again? Again, what you have to understand about Bud, yes, Bud is fighting for the money too. They all fight for the money. But Bud wants that status that Canelo has, right? He got a little bit of it after the Spence fight. But then even after that, people were still saying, oh, look at Spence. He was weight drained. He was the car accident, whatever. So Bud's fighting for legitimacy here. Like, as great as Bud is, he's going to the Hall of Fame too. He's not Canelo level when it comes to notoriety. If he beats Canelo, well, he'll never probably won't be the same as Canelo, but he'll have somewhat of that stat. He wants that Canelo type status, right? I'm not saying if he beats Canelo, he'll get the same. He'll be equal to Canelo in status, but he'll be in the conversation. In other words, Bud's saying he wants to be the best fighter of his generation. He wants to be an all-time great, and to do that, he believes he needs to beat Canelo Alvarez. So no, Andrew Castellanos, in my opinion, and I think it's quite evident, it is not the same thing for Bud. Not even close. Not even close. Imagine being undisputed in 3 different weight classes and doing it, moving up 2 weight classes against Canelo Alvarez. So no. And you can listen to Bud Crawford say, like, he wants the accolades. He wants the credit. He wants the respect. And he doesn't feel he's getting the respect. He doesn't feel that he's getting what he deserves. So this fight means a lot more for Terence Crawford than it does Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo's right. If Canelo does win, right, they're going to be saying, you beat a guy 2 weight classes below you. Whereas if Bud wins, they're going to be like, wow, man, you moved up 2 weight classes. You're undisputed in 3 weight classes now, right? Bud was champion at lightweight, junior welterweight, and super middleweight. He'll be a 5-division world champion. Like, this fight means so much more to Bud than it does Canelo Alvarez, right? So that's something to think about, guys. That's something to think about here. I showed you what Canelo said from his own mouth, right? I could do whatever I want. I fought everybody already. And it's funny because he went from mentioning Golovkin, Floyd Mayweather, Erislandy Lara, right? Bivville. And then immediately following after that, he says the name Edgar Berlanga. I mean, no disrespect to Edgar Berlanga, but that's kind of like a square peg in a round hole right there. You just railed off all those names, and then you mention him after that. That just tells you the drop off. You went from fighting Floyd Mayweather, and now you're fighting Edgar Berlanga. I mean, you got to look at that. It's pretty obvious. That's a huge drop off in competition. You went from fighting Golovkin and Erislandy Lara to Edgar Berlanga. You went from fighting Bivville to Edgar Berlanga. Jaime Munguia. Right? John Ryder. And this is no disrespect to those guys, but you see the levels. You have to see the levels. And now you're fighting a junior middleweight. Out of his own mouth, I get nothing for winning this fight. If the money is right, I will do it. He has 100 million reasons why to do it now. So these are all the things you got to keep in mind. You watch that skull fight, 152 punches in a 12-round fight. The lowest amount of punches ever thrown in a 12-round fight going the distance from a fighter, from two fighters, right? He didn't want to chase that guy around the ring. For what? For what? The money was already in the bank. The money was already in the bank. What do I get out of fighting Crawford? Does nothing for my legacy. These are all things he said. I'm not going to get credit if I beat him. But if the money is right. So he's fighting solely for the money. Legacy is intact. Okay? The legacy is intact. The accolades have already been achieved. Financially set for the rest of his life. So B, why is he fighting for the money? If he has enough of it. Because money is like points on the scoreboard, man. Right? Money in itself is an achievement. Just adds to the glory, adds to the status. No one can ever have enough money. Right? How are you going to turn down $100 million? You can't turn that down. Right? It's hard. It's hard to turn that down. So it is what it is. Lloyd Edwards says Canelo realize he may not have much to gain but everything to lose. So I believe Canelo will be 100% for his beatdown. Listen, you're misconstruing what I'm saying, okay? What you're doing is you are not looking at human nature. You have to accept human nature, okay? Everyone gets to the point where Canelo's at. That's why people retire, okay? That's why people retire in life. When you lose the desire to do something, and even the money no longer matters anymore, then that's when you walk away. Okay, it's not about me demeaning Bud Crawford's accomplishment. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just telling you the nature of human beings. Dead Game, what's up?
What's happening? What's happening? Just jumping in, man. This is something different from StreamYard. This is my first time on this one.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, but you know the only difference is it's a lot cheaper. That's why I'm using it.
Okay.
So I'm a businessman too, like Canelo, man. I'm about the dollars.
For sure, man. Well, I think with Canelo, I think it was the skull running that made it look so bad. I think Canelo is still the same Canelo.
You
You
think
know?
that?
Oh yeah, Canelo never slipped, man. Canelo is the same Canelo. You had Skull running, very athletic, moving around. I mean, he
Okay.
didn't want to fight. When you are a champion and you don't want to fight, you good enough to not get hit. I don't, he's very good at not getting hit. Um, so if he didn't want to get hit, he wasn't going to get hit. So that's why it looked like that. Canelo just went up and beat, and he lost to Bivville, but shit, that was a good fight. He went up. He dared to be great.
So you're not
You know,
you're not seeing the feet slow down. You're not seeing one punch thrown at a time. You're not
I see
seeing
the same man.
152 punches, bro. 152 punches in a
I
12-round.
understand because he didn't
Oh
have
my
he didn't have
God.
nobody. He didn't have nobody fighting back. You see,
I
when
mean,
you like I just said, the dude was not fighting back
but Shishkin
at
had the
all.
same guy in front of him, and Shishkin was getting to him.
Listen, man,
Shishkin was getting to
Skull,
him.
Skull is a Cuban, tricky, moving, and his whole goal was to not get hit. They were cheering for themselves in the corner because they didn't get hit. That's what their victory was, to
How
not
you
get
gonna get
hit.
hit if someone's only throwing 152 punches at you, man?
Man, yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
lateral movement.
we
The
got we
lateral
got to be.
movement.
Think about that. 152 punches. Guy threw
I
like
understand.
13 punches around, bro.
I understand. I understand. The guy didn't fight. What was the fight before? Who he fought? Mongia before this? No, he fought the
Berlanga,
young kid, the
Berlanga.
Berlanga.
And he
How
was,
many?
and,
How
and
many?
that, and that was a sparring session too.
He dropped Belinga.
I mean, he dropped him, but what did he do after that? Like a sparring session. Had him on the ropes. He didn't empty out the clip against him. I think the dude is just going through the motions, bro. I just don't think the fire is there anymore like it once was. It happens, bro. Happens to the best of them. Happened to Tyson. What did Tyson
It
say?
does.
Happens to
It does.
everybody. Guys are human
I don't.
beings. Imagine doing something like you have a job, right? And you did it for 20 years, right? You don't think you get burnt out on it?
Of course.
You don't think he's burnt out on it? Like you don't think he's just fighting right now solely for the money? He already told you I could do whatever I want. I fought everybody. He's already going in the Hall of Fame. He's already won titles in multiple weight classes. He's already made millions and millions of dollars. What else is there to fight for at this point? I have nothing to gain by beating this guy. He's 2 weight classes below me. I'm only doing it for the money. That's a mindset, bro. That's a mindset. When people tell you what they're about, you got to believe them. You got to listen to them. I'm just being honest.
Well, I don't see Canelo slipping, man. I really don't. It's the same. Canelo was never a fleet-footed guy. He was always flat-footed.
Yeah.
Canelo never bouncing around and doing this. Canelo fights the same way all the time, man. In 20, he's the best he's ever been right now. With the experience and everything, he's the best he's ever been. As long as his knee hold up,
He's
if
not.
he don't have any knee problems, he's the smartest.
He's
He's
not
the best. He's
bad.
the most patient. This is the best Canelo you will ever see
Okay.
right now. The Canelo today would stop the Canelo that fought Mayweather.
I
The
mean,
Canelo today would stop the Canelo who fought
yeah. You know why?
Floyd.
Because he'd be 20
The
pounds heavy.
experience,
Because he was 20 pounds. He'd
the
be 20 pounds heavier than him.
the experience,
So
the
Carlos
experience.
M says, "Oh, Trump can do good business with the Saudis, but not Canelo. Why can't he? Why can't he do good business? Hell, who said this was bad business? What I'm telling you is it's good business for Canelo, but when you had to pay if you paid $80 for that skull fight, you didn't get value for your dollar. So just because it's good business, what's good business for a fighter isn't always value for your dollar from a fan standpoint. I'm making an observation. Prove me wrong. So you're agreeing with me then if you're basically saying this is just business too. That's all I'm saying. And I broke it down. When it just becomes a business and it's no longer wanting to, like when it's no longer about being the fighter, when the incentive is gone, it is going to show up in the performances. And I believe in the last 2 years, it has shown up in the performances. That's all I'm saying. You can agree or disagree with it. If I got $80 million, I probably wouldn't have chased that guy around the ring either. I would have just went through the motions too, probably.
Canelo couldn't catch him. Canelo in
I
no point
mean,
of Canelo's career he would be able to catch Skull.
oh, come on now.
In no point in his career he would be
Caught
able to catch
Lara.
Skull.
He caught Lara.
Listen, because Laura fought a little bit, man.
Uh,
Skull ran the whole fight, brother.
I mean,
Skull actually ran. If you want to talk about running, and it was boxing, it was still boxing, lateral movement. Because it Canelo was never able to catch him, bro. Ever. In no point of his career. Even when he started at 15, he could never catch Skull. Skull is a professional athlete who didn't want to get hit.
all right. Well,
How did you think Canelo fought against Bivville?
um, that was him really not pulling the trigger either. You know what I mean? Bivville's a great fighter though, so it's a different kettle of fish. But I thought this is what I think about Canelo. When Canelo goes into a fight, he has a game plan, right? And when the game plan doesn't work, he doesn't really switch up. Like he was just he looked discouraged in that Bivville fight. right? And he just looked like, you know what, I'm just gonna finish this fight, and it is what it is. Like there was no plan B in that fight, right? And again, a lot of that had to do with Bivville, but he didn't try to do anything different. Once he realized what he was doing wasn't working, he didn't switch up. Like when you watch Bud fight, Bud will switch up. You know what I'm saying? If something's not working, like when he fought Gamboa and he got hit with that shot, you know what he said? This guy's better. This guy's only chance to have success against me is at range. What am I going to do? I'm going to he collapse the pocket on him. See what I'm saying? Like Canelo just fought the same way, like repetitive, over and over again against Bivville. Now you can say, well, what's he going to do? Bivville was just better than him. Okay, that's fine. But you could see that, but you could also observe that he did not even try to do anything different. Like when something's not working, you got to try to do something different. Now, when he fought Golovkin the first time, right, he was more of a counterpuncher. But then in the second fight, he became more of the aggressive guy. So his plan A worked in the second fight, so he didn't have to switch it. But if that plan A wasn't working, would he have switched to a plan B? I've never really seen Canelo switch to a plan B in a fight. I see him just pretty much have a game plan and stick with it. And if it doesn't work, then he just rides it out. Like he just wrote it out in that Bivville fight. Paulie Malignaggi said, like, he didn't try, like when he realized he couldn't get to Bivville, he just didn't try to do anything different. I don't know if he was mentally discouraged or what it was, but it is what it is. Who do you think's gonna win? Canelo or Bud? Who are you picking?
I got Bud to stop him.
You're picking Bud to stop him. So I kind of respectfully, I'm just going to say
knock him out. I'm not saying knock him out, but I'm saying
no. I'm picking Bud to win by decision. I'm not. Listen, I see what you're doing here, man. Respectfully, I'm saying this respectfully. You don't like that I'm kind of down. I'm not downplaying Canelo, right? But I see a difference. So you think by me saying Canelo's not what he once was, Bud's not going to get the credit, bro. Bud will get the credit any version of Canelo he beats. Just believe that. Believe that. He's going to get the credit any version Canelo is, right? He beats. Because Bud is going to be 38 in September, right? Bud is moving up 2 weight classes. So Bud will get the credit beating any version of Canelo, right? So don't think by me saying Canelo's not what he once was, it takes away from Bud's victory. It does not.
No, it's not just you, bro. It's not just you. Every Mexican that's on
I'm not
YouTube.
Mexican. I'm Lebanese.
No, I know you. I know that, but I'm talking about what I'm talking about. All right, we go with Mexicans, right? My Mexican brothers, they ride for each other through thick and thin, no matter what. You know, Robert Garcia, he rides for every Mexican, but now he's saying he's going against Canelo. All the Mexicans, his brother's going against Canelo. All the Mexicans are going against Canelo now, and all it is to downplay the victory when Bud wins.
No.
It's to downplay the victory. It's a tactic. It's a tactic they're using. So when Bud beats him, they're going to say Canelo was going downhill. That's what it's all about. Now, if Canelo wins, it's a celebration. It's a parade. But if Bud stops him and beats him, Canelo was done. It was over with. Canelo was slowing down. And it's all gearing up. They just setting the play up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you, bro. I just see a different Canelo, man. And here's the thing, man. If I think Bud's gonna win the fight, and it's impossible to not give him credit for it. I don't care. It's impossible to not give him credit for it because he's still
It
moving
is
up.
impossible. I agree. It is impossible. It's going to be in the books. I understand that. But do you understand what I'm saying? If you notice it, watch it. If you open your eyes, you will see mostly Mexicans are going against their Mexican brother.
Yeah, but
And it
that's.
is just to set it up to make that loss that much easier to take.
I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of see where you're going, but I I maybe some. Hey, listen, maybe some people are doing that. I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak
Because
for
you
everybody.
saw it though, but you know what I'm talking about. Do you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, you see it.
I
Now
can't
what I'm saying is,
I can't say some people aren't doing that because that would be
no,
dis.
no. Every last one I've seen is doing it. Now, just if you open your eyes, you're gonna see it.
All right.
Now, now, what I'm telling you is, when it happens, it's just gonna make it that much easier for them to take. That's all.
Okay. I think Bud's gonna win, and I just see a difference. I just see a difference in Canelo. I see a mentality change, and that's just how I see it, man. And that doesn't mean Canelo's still not a great fighter. I mean, he's still not a good fighter, but I mean, I just don't think he wants it anymore, man. I just don't think he wants it anymore. I don't think he's.
When did you ever? When did you see the killer instinct from Canelo? When was the last time you saw that killer instinct, that dog?
I'll be honest with you. The second Golovkin fight. Second Golovkin fight. He hasn't been the same since that said. I've seen a steady decline. That doesn't mean he's not good, not a top level fighter, but I've seen a steady decline since that second Golovkin fight. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, this guy turned pro when he was 15 years old.
I
15
just think.
years old.
I think I was in the Munguia fight. I think he let his boy off.
Oh, in the 12th round. Again, yeah. So what does that tell you? The killer instinct is not there anymore.
That doesn't mean he's not the same Canelo. I think he let it. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. We'll
Well,
see,
Joe, I'm
man.
not going to take up too much of your
All right,
time,
man.
brother. I know the chat hating me right now. I know
No,
they
you all
hating
right.
me.
You all right, man. You all right.
It is
Listen,
what it is.
listen. You give your opinion, man. I can't say you're 100% wrong. I don't think as many people feel the way you're saying it as you think, but I'm sure there are some. Sure there are some. So
No, and somebody saying Bud gonna do like Skull. No, man, you
that
don't
ain't
know
gonna happen.
Bud.
That ain't gonna
You
happen.
don't know Bud.
But Bud ain't gonna sit there and be like a Toro Gotti either, man. Like Bud is a smart guy, man.
Nah, it's gonna be a good fight. Well, Joe, have a
All right,
good
man.
one, bro.
I'll catch up, man. Be good. So yeah, I mean, there are people out there that I think don't want to take away from Bud's victory. Like people that are picking Bud, they don't want us. They don't want us to say that Canelo is slowed down. They don't want us to say that throwing 152 punches is kind of a. It's not a good thing, right? They don't want us to say that maybe the incentive for Canelo isn't what it once was. That's the thing. Wow, Demetrio is saying that this will be Canelo Bud will be Canelo Charlo 2 on some steroid. Nah, you know what this is going to be, in my opinion? I'm just going to tell you. This is going to be Leonard Haggler. I think this is going to be Leonard Haggler, man. This is going to be Leonard Haggler, modern day version. I believe that. I believe that. I think that's what we're going to get. Leonard Haggler, modern day version. All right, guys. I think I pretty much covered all my bases here. I will see you all tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, for the Ringside Reporter podcast. Make sure you guys check it out, tune in, and I will see you later. Enjoy.